Hello. I'm so grateful to be continuing this conversation together as we explore how we are evolving with social media. As a social media practitioner, it's so interesting to me to reflect on how we can continue to be agile and act with intentionality as we're creating and sharing content with our communities. And that's why transparency is so important and part of my foundational values. If you've seen a few of my previous content, we talk about how everything is unfiltered, unedited, real talk. So that adds a deeper layer of transparency so you can really see and understand what is happening. So, that being said, how can we keep this transparency transformation with our evolving social media platforms? It's a big question. So that's why we're sharing our content creation process from the beginning. It's so beautiful because in our evolving world, there's so much to talk about, and a lot of that content is out there in the interweb. My biggest question is how do we find quality content in a way that's easy to digest and understand and searchable for what we need in that moment? So, an amazing resource we have from the Digital Wellness Institute is this wonderful playbook to flourishing in the digital era. So, this is our structured content. And what I am doing as a creative is researching through this and pulling quotes that really inspire me and trying to distill down what are the really amazing action items that people can take away in bite-sized chunks that are 3 seconds or less. So we can really use technology as a tool to connect in this deeper way and learn what's adding value to ourselves in the day to day. So, because we're all human, it's important that we have checks and balances. A big learning lesson for me in my 6 years of social media marketing has been typos. They always happen even when our best intentions and detail orientedness is there, there's always some little thing that goes unintended. So, planning for these challenging encounters is so important to create a flourishing flow of your work and how you're sharing content. So, I'm so grateful to be growing our team to create that checks and balances from the beginning. So as I'm drafting content, I'm sharing it with a shared tool, Google Sheets, to communicate with our team members so we can all have eyes on what's happening and have that checks and balances of peer reviews and then getting that final version, and then before publishing having another set of eyes take a look with a fine comb and making sure that there's all of the details included, there's no typos. However, being that we're planning for these challenges to arise, it's important that we have multiple people working together, even though it's a virtual space, to really connect and figure out, is there a location? Is there a hashtag? Did we tag the accounts? Are we adding resources, the original source of the material? What's the call to action? How do we engage questions for our community? So there's a lot of little things and details that go into everything. So being able to connect with our team and work together in this capacity is a huge connection for success. So, another reason why I love working with our virtual teams is because we all bring different perspectives to the table. So, how can we create a salad or a soup that is so delicious and tasty with all of these different ingredients involved to really make something that's so wonderful and adds unique value to our community around the world? So that's a little introduction into content creation with this transparency and realness that we want to bring to everything, but also being aware of the challenges that might arise. Sometimes there are technology glitches. I've actually deleted entire content calendars before with months of content just poof, gone. So how can you create backups of your materials? I love writing, like putting pen to paper is such a valuable way to connect with your creativity. I have deep streams of consciousness where I just write and get it out on paper. And by using project management tools like Asana, I have the app on my phone and I'm able to take a photo of my notes so I can share it with my team and it's completely transparent and I can refer to it later. There are also tools like Rocket Notebook where it's a special dry erase pen and then you have an app and then it dictates your words into text. So with this evolving technology, it's really important that we're catering to our favorite ways to get creative and make content while also being mindful of how we're using our technology and what is fostering our flourishing flow. So I know it's a lot of information, but I think it's important that we reflect on what our favorite ways to foster our flow are so we can really connect with that inner creativity and spark joy. Because when we're creating from this place of love and passion, it comes through the content. So even if you're writing and then share it another time, that energy is ignited and transferred through whatever you're creating. So keeping that momentum flowing is so magical and a great way to continue motivating your other team members. And a practice that we do with our digital wellness ecosystem is encouraging that creative time offline. So having time blocks where you can put pen to paper or paint and get creative with different mediums that really connect to your inner guide so you can foster your flourishing flow in a way that feels natural to you. So I'm really excited to continue sharing the details of our creation process to demonstrate how we are creating this flourishing ecosystem to share valuable, tangible resources with our global community and replicate this so it's easy for other people moving forward so we can continue evolving the social media ecosystem without falling down the rabbit holes of the unintended consequences along the way. We're all human. So those red notifications are going to trigger us on an emotional, deeper level, whether we want them to or not. So taking intentional practices, for example, setting your phone to black and white or turning off notifications in totality are a great way to overcome these challenges from the algorithms of the technology we use, but also being really intentional by platform. So if you're going to share something, share it. If you're going to engage, connect. If you want to talk to somebody one-on-one, send them a direct message, but also provide them with your favorite contact method. So whether that's a Calendly link or your email or your cell phone number, having that next line of communication and being clear from the beginning of, hey, I'm so happy that we connected on this platform. I want to be so intentional about our time continuing this conversation. And I want to make sure I don't miss your message since I don't check this platform on a regular basis. Here is my email, Slack, whatever. And you can connect in a deeper way in that regard, just because it's easy to miss messages. And we want to be really clear when we're creating new connections that relationship is meaningful and you want to be planting and watering the seed with love from the beginning. So how can we level set and protect our boundaries while also creating new boundaries for our relationships we're starting with others? So I know we're just scratching the surface here, but if there's any initial questions as to that content creation process and brainstorming what content you're going to be sharing with your community, how that's adding value is so interesting. So also reflecting on what content do you receive and consume that you're like, yes, this is exactly what I needed. I'm so happy that this was delivered to my inbox. text message, whatever that medium might be, noticing what really resonates with you, what you love, and how can you create more of that, but also creating a open dialogue with your community so they can share feedback. So I would love to learn from your feedback too. Do you prefer video, audio, or written content? Let me know because we're sharing it all. So, whichever is most interesting and valuable to you, we'll make sure that you receive everything that you need to continue fostering your flourishing flow. I appreciate the love, patience, and understanding of our growing online community. I am only human. I stumble on my words and I'm learning as we go. So, by documenting my discoveries along the way, I am intending to learn from them as I look back from these videos and audio content. But hopefully, it's planting a seed of curiosity within you and that we can continue evolving together in the future of technology. It's a time for transformation. And as we continue to embrace agile action, I'm really looking forward to continuing the conversation soon. Next time.